Hello, viewers. Welcome back to Drew TV podcast. Interestingly, today we'll be talking about an issue that has ravaged Nigeria, both the rural and the urban areas of Nigeria, which is insecurity. Insecurity is now a cankerworm in the system in Nigeria, and we'll be talking about, from layman point of view, our concern, ways to cope, and just general conversation around the state of the nation in terms of security. So I have with me interesting people that will be joining my conversation from my right, starting from my right.
Kasim.
There. Without further ado, I'll just jump right into the conversation by throwing the question open. What is actually happening in terms of security in Nigeria? What are your feelings? How do you feel? Just express yourself. How do you feel around the insecurity in Nigeria? It could just be that I'm the only one feeling this way, but let's share our sentiment, our views, how we feel around insecurity in Nigeria. Kasim.
The insecurity in Nigeria has lingered for too long. It's something that is worrying. As a Nigerian, you are no longer confident to travel to travel around your country. You are scared because you are just one journey away from being kidnapped. You are just one sleep away from being boggled. You are just one call away to get the information that a loved one has been kidnapped. It's worrying, it's troublesome. And insecurity affects everything, affects our everyday life. It's because of insecurity today that you have hiking full stuff. People do not know, people always attribute hiking and inflation to fuel, but insecurity is a major reason why we are having difficulty getting food stuff in this country. People in Benue cannot go farming, people in Katsina cannot go farming, and it affects the average man. You do not have a bulletproof car, I do not. So how do we survive? How do we live? You are scared of taking your child to work because before you get to school to go pick them up from school, you could get news that they've been kidnapped. So it troubles the average man. It's tiring. It's really tiring.
Really tiring, deeply concerning, as Kasim has highlighted. Well, let's hear from Jojo how he also feels around the state of the nation in terms of security.
First, I am from Edo State, and of recent we've got series of complaints concerning insecurity, and even of recent they even try attacking very dark man who we all saw on social media. And I think this issue of insecurity has gone beyond measures that even they take it as a business. For me, I see it as a business for them, because how can you kidnap somebody and all of a sudden you begin to bargain for 40 million, you begin to bargain for 50 million, 60 million. Where on earth do you want such person to get such amount of money from? And by so doing, these things are affecting our communities. Like my brother Mahmoud, my brother Kasim earlier stated that even down to farming, people can no longer go to farm. So I think this insecurity issue is something that we need to look into. We need to the government need to find possible means on how to curb it. So I think that's my own take.
The government have to, of course, definitely do something to curb this insecurity. That is the sentiment Jojo is sharing. Let's hear from Sule. He might have something in mind different.
Of insecurity is alarming. It's alarming. You don't even need to travel to be kidnapped anymore. You used to think it's when you travel on the highway that you kidnap. Now you can even be in your house and they will just come and kidnap you. You understand? You can just be going to work and you can just be kidnapped anytime, anywhere, anyhow. You understand? It's really disturbing. I even heard of there was a story I read yesterday where the guy who even took the ransom to them, I think they kidnapped five women in their farms. They demanded for 50 million, they bargained, and they ended up paying, I think, 250, that's like 4 million or 5 million or so. When the guy brought the whole ransom to them, he brought ransom, he brought India hemp, he brought cough syrup, India hemp, and I think they said pig meat. No, 2 bags of rice. When he brought these things to them, they cooked the India hemp and gave the guy to drink. And what was their reason? That just in case he poisoned the India hemp. After taking the India hemp, they now asked him to leave, that they should add 500,000 to the 5 million. So what it means is that it has become a lucrative business. And until we get to that point where we make it look like a death sentence. Like you kidnap once you are caught, death sentence straight. There's nothing like 10 years in prison. So I think it's a big problem until we get to that level. And I think the security system is not really working. You have seen soldiers coming out on social media saying things, police officers saying things. You understand? Soldiers are telling you that they are killing us, this and that. And nothing has been done. No investigation. Nobody is paying for all this, because they said that there's no smoke without fire. For somebody to come, and it's not about you going to court martial the person for saying something. Even after court martial, investigate these things. And I think until we get to that point where we start holding our security chiefs, especially responsible, we will not get peace. We will not have peace in this country.
You know, pre-2015, all of this, we were not seeing all of this. And we are not actually saying the country is relatively peaceful even pre-2015 election. The country has been suffering insurgency even down till this moment. Bad thing is bad thing, yes, admittedly. But pre-2015, there was a certain region that was suffering all of this. And the nation's resources and resources and manpower are channeled towards fighting that insurgency in that particular region, particularly the northeast. But today, it's a different ball game entirely. The entire country is ravaged with insecurity. Everybody is scared. Nobody, just like you rightly said, somebody can be kidnapped even in his house.
Yes.
We've never seen this before, and I don't think something like this is happening in any part of the world.
We watch in movies,
except in Nigeria. So I'm trying to ask now, where do you think we got it wrong? At what? Yeah, you are not an expert, but from a layman point of view, where do you really think we got it wrong?
I think where we got this whole thing wrong was, let's start from the onset, where we had just one, just like you said, one region suffering, and we at that point we knew what we're fighting. I think then we were fighting Boko Haram. Yes. You get where we had Yusuf Mohammed. I think that was the Yusuf Mohammed. And when we started, we had so many ways. Just that way we had Yaradua. Yaradua ended the whole Niger Delta militancy stuff, yes, without killing anybody, without making too much noise. And I think the government, the whole thing still boils down to the government, whether we like it or not. One, we had somebody who I think we could even sit there at that point to say, okay, what is the problem? How do we get this? But now, service chiefs, politically appointed, whether I like it or not by merit. No, you have an inspector general of police who is still sitting in office even when he's supposed to be retired. He's still in office acting. You understand? So I think the whole security system has been politicized. Everything in Nigeria is now about politics. You want to appoint a chief of army staff. They're looking for the soldier that helped you in one election in one state. You want to the IG. You are thinking of a police officer who you worked with when you were a governor or a senator, or who was your ADC or so. And I think until we get to that point where we start giving appointment based on merit, not by who you know, because Nigeria now is who you know. Who you know is what works for you, not by what can you do. If you want to even come and you are telling them what you can do, they can just tell you, okay, just wait first. You understand? So please, until we get to that point where we start making appointment based on merit, especially our security chiefs and all this, I don't think we'll have a headway if we keep doing it this way.
Thank you very much for that input.
I think another problem that also contributed, this just redirected my mind towards when I was in Kaduna. Then El-Rufai was the governor. I think he made a statement, because I happened to meet with an inspector of police. So I was discussing with him as a security man, okay, what do you think about this insecurity? Because El-Rufai has come out to say that he's not going to pay ransom to any Boko Haram or so. So I asked him, he said yes, because how will you go? Now they say, okay, if you have a gun, come out, they will give you 1 million naira. And everybody will just go and bring gun and they give you 1 million. How much is the gun and how much is the 1 million? The gun is it's not even up to 500,000. Now you are bringing a gun and they are giving you 1 million. So if you go back with that 1 million, you can get extra 2 guns and invite 2 extra persons to bring that same 2 guns. They will give you the 2 persons 1 million. So indirectly, you are investing in that business. You are investing in them. You are making it a more lucrative business for them. And I believe those are part of the measures and steps by which we find ourselves in this mess today. Because each time they kidnap, they always seek for ransom, and when they don't cost more money, they call big money, and the people go extra miles to go get this money.
I think the reason for that, again, you have to look at it. If I have, let's be realistic. If my relative is being kidnapped, God forbid, and ransom is asked, and I have that, because do you even trust the system? That is the question. Do you even
A
trust
very
the
big
security
question.
system?
Very
Do
big
you trust the security system? Are you now sure that who you are even going to report to at the station is not even a member of the same
Insecurity.
whether bandit or Boko Haram, whatever they call themselves? Are you sure? So most times people do this ransom pay with fear, not that they want to pay, but when you now look at the whole thing and you are now like, okay, if I don't pay, these guys are now brutal. Sometimes you even pay this ransom and they still kill the person.
Yes.
You get? So will you not want to even waste your time trying to see if the police will help you, delaying them, knowing that these guys, just like I said, take Indian hemp, take cough syrup to a point that they get high? You understand? So that is why you see this ransom until we get to a point where even without, okay, look at this, like the case of this very dark man case of kidnappers and the rest. Did you hear? Have you heard anything concerning that case? Did you hear the security chief, the inspector general, whether the commissioner of police in that state saying, okay, oh, we are inside the forest, so we are fighting? Until you get to that point where anything happens, you begin to hear immediately somebody is reacting to it. Until you get to that point, guy, people will still keep. In fact, till today, till tomorrow, people will pay ransom. The train kidnapping that happened, I think 2-3 years ago in Abuja here, people paid ransom. People paid ransom. So please, let's the issue of pay ransom until we get it right in our, just like I said in our appointment, guy, people will still keep paying ransom. Thank you.
Quite unfortunate the situation we are finding ourselves, of course, in this country, but as Africans, as people that believe in God, we are still hopeful and upholding to God that on a very good day, all of this will be over. But however, before we get to that point, Kasim, what do you really think should be the way forward? Just in case somebody bumps into this video, or let it be on the record that this crew has discussed about this. What do you really think? What do you think as a layman should be the best approach to ending the insecurity?
There is a saying that if you get bitten by a snake on a particular leg, you don't start treating your hand. You start from the leg that you got bitten. What is the foundation of insecurity, my people? Where did we get it wrong? It's the hardship in the country. If the government can work on the hardship of this country, make life better for people, insecurity will be less. People will ask, okay, is it because of the insecurity? Is that a justification for you kidnapping? Yes, it is. To some people, do you know how many people have lost their jobs, have lost their life because of poverty post 2015? If the government can work on the hardship of this country, make Nigerians live a better life, the hardship will reduce. Now, mind you talked about security personnel earlier being involved in one of these things. You are very correct. How much do the security personnel take home? How much do they take home of a basic police officer? So these things are tiring. And aside the hardship, until we live as a nation, Nigeria is going nowhere because we have serious issues with religion and tribalism, but that's a topic for another day. But until we cure that issue of tribalism and religion and hardship, Nigeria will have nowhere to go. We'll still be hovering around the same circle. We won't go further, we won't go back, we will just be there. As a matter of fact, we might even go backward. So to tackle these issues, top three: security, hardship, religion, and tribalism. If we can solve these three, Nigeria will triumph as a country.
Well, we are really hopeful that we'll get to the point where we can actually triumph as a country. But at this moment, I want to also share what I think should be appropriate approach to be taken by the government. First, Nigerians are no longer faithful and trusting the system, particularly the security system. You can see if the government finds you wanting, the government wants to pick you, the government will do, in fact, it's less than 24 hours, government will pick you from wherever you are.
They will definitely.
The government picked Nnamdi Kanu, who is not even in Nigeria, in the shores of the country. He was, as some will say, kidnapped from Kenya down to Nigeria. So these insurgents, these bandits, these criminals, these terrorists, they are within Nigeria. They make phone calls to the
victims
relatives of the victims, and they collect ransom and all of that thing. The government is aware of all of these things. Why can't they be tracked wherever they are making all of these calls? It's very easy to track a particular phone call to anywhere. It's very easy. It's not a rocket science. Nigeria's security system have the apparatus. Why are all these things not happening? And this makes a common Nigerian lose faith and lose trust in the system and also in the governance. So what is going on, our government? When these bandits, these criminals, these terrorists are, clamped down upon with all the resources. Yes, I agree. It's a multi-dimensional approach that should be done to curb this the situation we are in, the high rate of insecurity which has never been seen arguably in any part of the world. The government needs to do better, needs to step up, needs to clamp down on these terrorists. The government is doing something, not like they are doing nothing, but their best is not good enough and it is not sufficient. So we urge the government, please do something so that the insecurity situation right now will not consume Nigerians and Nigeria. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on our next video, but please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. And you can also feel free to drop your comment on what you think about this topic. Thank you very much.